Can't keep running away.
I'm
Yes.
stumped. I'm stumped.
What, you don't know what movie? He gave you the charade version of it. What movie did Richard Dawson? What movie was Richard
Running
Dawson in?
Man? Running Man?
Yes.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I did not know.
He was the
Yeah.
game show host.
Co-host, yeah.
Listen, man, this could just be a bunch of things. I did not know he was in the Running Man. Or I just don't remember. It's been a minute since I've seen that movie.
Y'all watched the new one yet?
No. Is it good?
It's not bad. It's not bad.
Okay.
I thought you were gonna say don't.
Nah. It's not bad.
Remakes can get a little funky. You know what I mean? Speaking of remakes, before we get started, is it true that there is going to be a remake to Paid in Full with Michael Rainey, Joey Badass? Who were the other two? There was 4. I was like, Snowfall.
Oh, what's the boy's name?
Yeah, Snowfall, and then somebody else. It was 4 dudes, and I was like, "There's no way." I was like, "This has to be fake."
Damson Idris. That's it.
Yeah, because if it's real, oh my goodness! Hey, y'all on the Twitters, can y'all give me? Was that like some master clickbaiter type stuff that I fell for, or is
What's
that
that?
a real thing? Is the remake to Paid in Full with those characters, like those actors?
I don't know. I haven't really followed too
Not
much of the
Scream
movies
7.
yet. Yeah. You know what actually I just saw for the first time actually was we sat down and watched because my kids always went and saw the Avatars. I watched I think like 15 minutes of the first one. I'm like, this is dumb. I didn't watch it. I actually went back and watched it again because they love it. My two daughters and my wife, they love the movie. So okay, I'll watch it. So I'm gonna have to get caught up. I think it comes out on Disney Plus in the summertime. So I'll watch it. I'll get it caught up. Like I watched it. Like it wasn't bad. It wasn't great.
I
But it
like
wasn't
the second
bad,
one
so.
better than the first one.
Yeah, I got to get ready to watch that one as well.
What's it
man.
called? The Way of Water or something like that?
Well, yeah. I don't know which one I like better.
Well, we'll let you know.
I mean, I like Zoe one way or the other.
Yeah,
I'm saying, like,
true.
I've always been a fan. Always been a fan of Zoe Saldana.
Juan, you got yourself a little drinky drink tonight, or is this
What you sipping on?
What you sipping on? You got like a little koozie there.
Oh yeah. What is this? This is I just grabbed from the store. I wasn't prepared to actually rate it. But yeah, this is I guess this is called CT style. It's a hazy IPA.
CTE.
CT style.
You got the hazy CTE. All right, that's cool.
I'm not the one with CTE. And we'll get into that discussion in a little bit here, I'm sure.
Yes, we will. It's going to be pretty animated here tonight. Pretty animated tonight. GB, what you got, brother?
For this special occasion, I'm having some juice force. The end. Because why the hell not? We're here for a good time, not a long time. Let's have some fun, shall we, gents?
Yeah, and I'm going back with the Big Rail's already acting up, man. These fans have CTE. Hey, man, I was very thankful that I was gifted a case over this past weekend. So I got me just a regular old goodie Southern Tier IPA. Can never go wrong with these.
Oh yeah.
So I got some of those. I'm actually gonna have one. This is a half left, and I got another one over here and chilling out in this little cold thing here. So I got that. We are ready to go.
I've been drinking Michelob Ultra Carb all week. So going to Juice Force should be a fun ride. Let's go. We'll leave it at that. 4.2 to 9.5 is a whole different.
That's like me moving back up here from Florida, bro.
That's some juice. That's some force. Force is with you. Let's go.
So all I've heard for the past few days since Saturday is it's the same old. I've even heard Mike Tomlin 2.0. I don't understand where this comes from, other than they think Rooney hired a safe coach, right? Because this is not, and we already got it. This is the direct opposite of same old, same old. Bill Cowher, 34 years old, defensive coordinator for 3 years with the Chiefs. Yeah. They had the 2nd, 16th, and 13th ranked defenses in those 3 years with the Chiefs. He was a special teams coach and a DB coach with the Browns for a few years in the 80s. Mike Tomlin was a 34-year-old DC for 1 year from the Minnesota Vikings. He was then a Tampa Bay Buccaneers defensive back coach for 5 years. And by the way, they were ranked 15, 1, 3, 1, and 6 versus the pass. Right? Mike McCarthy, 6 years as an offensive coordinator, 18 years as a head coach on the offensive side, by the way. That's not the same. And he's a 62-year-old seasoned coach. 23 years coaching offense at the NFL level, by the way. And we're going to get into some of this more after I get your guys' thoughts. Of those 23 years he was coaching, my man 13 times had a top 10 offense. 19 times he had a top 15 offense. So I'm going to leave you with this, and I'm asking you gentlemen a question for some opening remarks with this. I'm not going to sit here and be hypocrite and say that I love this hire. I was looking at a Chris Shula, Clint Kubiak type of that's what I wanted, right? McCarthy, we all thought that, in the GB and I talked about last week, we thought that McCarthy would be on the staff, just not as head coach. We thought there'd be some type of a offensive assistant or assistant head coach / advisor, which made a lot of sense. But when you guys hear Mike Tomlin 2.0 and all this other rubbish, what do you think of that? And also just McCarthy in general as a hire, and then we're going to get into some specifics. Juan, why don't you go first, buddy?
Well, I would say if you look at the correlation between their recent playoff success, I would say that's where I think a lot of that Tomlin 2.0 is coming into play. I mean, it's McCarthy, the Super Bowl that McCarthy won was against Tomlin. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, so, you know, that was a long time ago. You know what I mean? Like, so I think that it's the whole "what have you done for me lately" thing. You know what I mean? That if you kind of look at it, there are a lot of parallels in their careers, with the exception that Tomlin has stayed at the same place, where McCarthy went to another, if you want to call it, historic franchise in the league. I mean, we hate to crown them that because they'd like to crown themselves as America's team, but I mean, Dallas is what it is. You know what I mean? And that's, you know, the fact that he couldn't get them to the promised land with a franchise quarterback. It's like, okay, what do we really think is going to happen here? You know what I mean? Like, I would say that there are some core. I don't want to dismiss the with the Tomlin 2.0 thing. You know what I mean? I don't want to dismiss it as much because there are some. If your issue with Tomlin was playoff success, then yes, that is, I think, a valid comparison.
Okay, GB. He took his glasses off.
Let me first off, before I even get into my diatribe, I want to send a prayer out to actor Quentin Aaron, who played Michael Oher in the long what was it called? The Blind Side. 41 years young, man. He's on life support right now. I don't know if anybody saw the story.
No.
I guess he was in some sort of accident. I don't really know everything, but I saw on TMZ earlier he was on life support, and that just kind of hit me different. You know what I mean? Because he was a young dude, like, you know what I mean? He, like, just a little bit ago, he was a young actor and everything, and now this dude is fighting for his life. So before I even get into that, I just wanted to send a quick prayer and just let him know we're thinking about him and we got him lifted up in prayer. Now, back to the lecture at hand. Let me dispel the myth about Mike McCarthy in Dallas, because last I checked, when Dallas went to the Super Bowl last time was against us in 1996, January 1996. I was in I was in 12th grade at Valley High School. I am 48 freaking years old. All right. So ain't nobody winning in Dallas. They about as much as the factory of sadness is all these other loser franchises out here. It's been 30 years since they've been to a Super Bowl. So I ain't gonna blame that on Mike McCarthy. There's this owner over there that think he know everything. He might have something to do with that. Things start from the top down. Speaking of top down, I feel like this hire is on brand for Mr. Art Rooney and everything that he's shown in his in his body of work, if you will. I'm gonna use a whole lot of Tomlin references for the rest of my life, by the way.
Not just tonight.
By the way, yes, that's gonna keep happening. You roll your eyes and just come up because you're gonna get a whole lot of Tomlinisms from the uppity ends for the rest of, because that's the type of impact dude made on my life. So that's the end of that. But just think about that for a second, man. It's been a while since Dallas did anything over there.
Yeah.
Okay. But as far as Art's concerned, just think about it. Art is on record of saying, we're not rebuilding. We're still going for a championship. We're not going to do what everybody thinks that we should do, try to do a quote unquote rebuild. He's like, no. We're going to keep towing the line.
Okay.
Right? We're going to keep towing the line, and we're going to stay in contention. We're not going to have any losing seasons. Continue, although we might. But
we'll see.
We'll see. But it's on brand for what I've seen from Coach Rooney. I mean, not Coach Rooney, but Art the second. I will reserve judgment though, as far as like results.
Yep.
And the reason why I say that is because, and Art said it perfectly. We're not trying to grab headlines, in January, not January 2026.
We'll see tomorrow. There'll be more tomorrow with the press conference, right?
Let me see what's going on with, with who he brings in.
Yep.
What the personnel looks like. You know what I mean? Like, there's a whole lot. I feel like if you're looking at it from a puzzle standpoint, we just basically just got a couple of the corners. Like, if you ever done a puzzle, like we're getting to the corners and we're trying to work our way in, and we're not even close to having a complete puzzle yet. So I kind of reserved my emotion from that standpoint. I didn't expect it. I mean, we were on record last week saying we thought he was going to be an assistant head, and they were going to do a young dude, but no. Art the second's like, no, we're going to stay the course. We're going to do, but I do love that the fact that it is an offensive mind, and his body of work with quarterbacks speak for itself, and I digress. We'll continue on.
Before we move on, welcome Hova123. I actually saw the notification, new subscriber. Thanks for hanging with us. Hanging with us.
Hova.
Appreciate you. Welcome. Welcome.
If you don't know that reference, man, I'm gonna call you out, sir.
Do not be a stranger to the chat and to the comments. We love to hear from you. Yunzu, y'all, welcome back, sir. I'm open-minded. Let's see who the OC and DC are. Optimistic. We have a fun offense to watch. 62 feels like a transitional hire. That very well might be true, which kind of brings me into my next point. And Mr. Tummy always break it. If they have a winning season, a playoff game, trending in the right direction. And I think those two comments kind of go hand in hand. And what GB was saying is like, let's see who he brings in, because someone like Steelhaas is still a young coach that is a passing game coordinator. So offensive coordinator, whether he calls plays or not, because we heard McCarthy wants to call his own plays, but that might have just been some shenanigans he was dealing with in Dallas or whatever his last place was, where he said that I will never relinquish play calling duties. Does he bring, him in? Also, importantly, who does he bring as an offensive line coach? I think that's just as important as the coordinators, right?
Very much so.
Yep.
And
thank God Pat Meyer's gone. But for the
and let's focus on the offensive side a little bit, because I actually have some thoughts about the defensive coordinators, that just some names to throw out there. And please, anybody in the chat, as everyone's piling in here, the numbers are just go tick, 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 which I love it. So welcome everybody into the Bird Cave for this. What do you guys think, like, offensively? Is there a name on there, or what kind of dynamic would you want to see from an offensive coordinator perspective to couple with someone like Mike McCarthy, who was obviously a seasoned vet in the NFL level? And I do think it could be a pass the torch type of thing, at least from an offensive perspective. What say you guys?
You mind if I start this time?
From
the standpoint of personnel, and we've been talking about this for a long time. I would love to get it doesn't have to be Shieldhouse, but I would love to get somebody from the Rams offensive staff, because our personnel is already built for 13 personnel. I've been talking about 13 personnel since the daggone summer when we got Jonnu Smith. Like, it would be great. What did I show you? I quoted Dudek. Spreadoffense.com had that meme where, he was looking at spread offense, but, with the girl, he got his girlfriend as the spread offense, and he's looking at the 13 personnel. I'm like, bro, we've been talking about 13 personnel forever, because it's a problem. If you know offense, that's a very big problem. I would love for McCarthy, and I think he has the wherewithal. I think I like this hire from a standpoint of, well, first of all, it's different, but I feel like Mike McCarthy been in the league for so long.
Right.
He understands. I think he, especially coming here in Pittsburgh. This is the Yinzer in me. Coming here in Pittsburgh, which was obviously his dream job, right? I think he is, like, I just feel like he understands offense, and I think he understands trends. If you see, look at the stats at the beginning with the teams that he's worked with. Okay. Right. Dallas came out, they were playing well at the beginning. On the offensive side of the ball, Green Bay, same thing. Like, pay attention to that. And I think that you'll see that, we may have something. I'm really interested to see, though, who he brings in. That's going to be an interesting thing. Hey, man.
What's happening
on here?
What a tie.
Mr. J. Brown, the chef.
Professor Clump in the building. Professor Clump, ladies and gentlemen.
Let's go. Hey, so what I'll take the baton on you, and Jared, what we're doing, we're talking about with McCarthy here, like, who would you like to see bring in as like an OC, whether it's a name or a type of coach, and maybe subsequent offensive line coach as well too. But Mr. Wonderful, what do you think about? And then we'll let Jay Brown get in.
Yeah, Gabe kind of stole my answer there, because I was going with anybody. But I guess I'll broaden it a little bit. I won't say the Rams specifically. I'll just say the McVay coaching tree.
There you go.
Whatever. Yep. Anybody associated with that offensively? Bring them on. Bring them.
Yeah, they utilize 13 personnel very well.
Yes.
So I'm going to bring one name up here, and then Jay Brown, I want you to get your thoughts in this too, because Yinzer Yallen and Adam also brought this up, and this is actually because this might be one of the stories of the year, is Janoko, which I think there is some Pitt ties to this, Adam was saying here as well. He is the quarterbacks coach for the Seattle Seahawks.
Mm-hmm.
What a turnaround for one Sam Darnold.
Well, let's not.
Well, listen, I mean, he started it last year, right?
Yeah.
Right? He started it last year, but I've
been ready to pounce on this topic.
Yeah, so it could be a name, but it's fitting a type, right? It's fitting a type of thing here. But Jay Brown, what do you think? Type of OC you'd want to bring in?
So, as far as offensive coordinators, I'm not sure who was all mentioned beforehand. Who'd you guys mention? Just out loud.
We talked about Steelhaas, getting in there, or just some other young offensive coordinators. Like
13 personnel is what we was talking about.
Yeah.
Well, for the time being, anybody that could possibly help with the development with Will Howard first and foremost. it really all depends on what they're considering when it comes to the draft too. Like, are we going to go quarterback first in the first round? Do they really like this core of quarterbacks that are currently coming out? I'm not sure if they're all sold for those types of picks in the first round. So just anybody that it's still at least a young mind. Obviously, McCarthy's probably not going to be the long-term solution at head coach, but at the same time, he's a nice little stopgap to where you can develop whichever quarterback that you have that'll be coming into our system. And as of right now, I don't think the majority of us probably don't want to see Aaron Rodgers running back. And currently, I'm not even sure. Like I said, what quarterbacks are they going to be looking at as far as this new system that they're going to be running?
Yeah. I think part of the lore, and we have a comment to come up that I definitely want to get everyone's thoughts of in the chat as well as you gentlemen, is it's more of should be a stopgap of it, right? But what McCarthy also, I think, liked Will Howard. He said he liked the quarterback room, right? Now, whether that's the gibberish or the fibbing is just to get the job, to get your dream job too, is like, oh, he's great. He's a great,
I mean, what are you supposed to say?
Exactly. You're not supposed to come in and just start trashing people that you picked, right?
What are you supposed to say? Look at here.
Look at here.
This
is what he
room is borderline trash. So I don't think he's gonna do that.
Right. So anyway, I think it's a combination.
Wait, you said he's not going. He should have got Keon Coleman them like the Bills.
But like I said, there's again, and I've been very consistent about Will Howard. I'm saying I'm not saying he is the guy, but I'm not saying he's not the guy. And if you put someone with like McCarthy, he's got to earn it. He may come out and be complete ass, right? We get it, but he also may not. So, but I think pairing him with someone like McCarthy, and we'll see who the OC is, and go from there. What I was very surprised about, and I think from our chat group, you three gentlemen were, and I believe everybody here that's in the chat was surprised at the timing. The timing of the hire, considering they had a wealth of interviews that they could have interviewed this week, regardless of the outcome with the, we'll just say stay at the NFC with Kubiak and with Shula and with, even with Steelhouse as a second round interviews or such, right?
I love that you Yinzered his last name.
You have to.
To Steelhouse.
So Mary Beth Robert McCaffrey, wow. I'm not buying that he bombed the interview. So there are reports out there that Chris Shula bombed the interview. And this is why. Now, Pony says it. I don't believe him. Dulac says it. He probably did a great interview.
Right.
But when Kaboli says it, and it corroborates with everything, it adds a little bit of validity to it. Again, it's hearsay, but what do you make about it? Do you believe that he bombed this interview, and that's why they made the move?
Dude, I wouldn't say that he bombed the interview, that either one of them bombed the interview, but I can say that they probably didn't wow them either. Otherwise, they would have waited, right?
Yeah.
Like they brought Anthony Weaver in for a personal interview. This is why I was so interested in the second interview, who was coming in versus who was just getting a virtual, right?
Yeah.
And I saw that it was Brian Flores, Anthony Weaver, and Mike McCarthy. So I figured that it was going to end up being Mike McCarthy after I seen that. Like I was like, I didn't think it was going to be Flores. I was like, it's either going to be Weaver, and then they really going to be like Tomlin 2.0.
It looked like him
really
a little bit.
Be like, because my understanding is that he was crushing interviews, right? But that was the thing. Like I think that both Shieldhouse and or Shula didn't do enough to wow them for them to wait, to say, man, this is the one.
Yeah.
And I completely understand, because again, this is Art the second we're working with. Okay. He's already proven that he does things with Omar. He and Omar together, they do things a little bit different. And he's been proving it year in and year out, because at the end of the day, whether Yins like it or not, Art's like, nah, I pride myself on being in contention every single year.
Yeah.
And that's just the reality. Like, I don't care. You can spin that in huff and puff all you want to.
Yep.
That's his behavior. He is displaying this behavior. This is just what it is. Now you got a choice. You gonna stick with it? This is why I say, look, you gonna stick with it? You gonna keep waving your towel? You gonna bitch moan and complain about it? As far as me, G BD up at the Yinzer, I'm still waving my towel. Period. Point blank. The end. I digress. I'm gonna be quiet.
As Juan and Jay Brown are going to weigh in this, Mr. Tummy brought up something here. It's, if we consider the other candidates did not want the job and Rooney settled for McCarthy, it could have happened. I didn't hear reports on it like poor Cleveland. Start calling the Cleveland Nom goods. You know, I don't know if that's true, but obviously there could have been interview requests that were turned down. We just didn't hear about it. But Mr. Wonderful, what do you think?
I can't see that. Not this franchise. You know what I mean? Like, there's not too many people who are going to be like, nah, to Pittsburgh. You know what I mean? This is like the dream job, because of the stability that the organization has and how they stick behind their coaches. Like, who wouldn't want to come here, even if the quarterback situation isn't where it needs to be? You know that you have time to build the program, build things up, because their ownership's not going to dump you in a year if you have, if you come out the gate with a losing season, it's not going to be your head.
Right.
So that's.
I would agree.
I don't know about that one.
Jay Brown.
And let's not forget, this still is the reigning AFC North champions. I'm just saying. I mean, we did just win the division.
Talk about it.
Right.
So
talk about it.
Why would you turn that down?
Let's talk about the drafts again.
Right. I mean, you
talk about the people that are leaving, but think about the dudes you got under contract that you drafted in the last 3 years.
3 years.
That's the thing I pay attention to when it comes to Omar Khan and them. That if you're Khan and Whittle have done an outstanding job.
The last 3 years. Yep.
Keeping the reload that Coach Art, or I keep calling him Coach because I feel like he's coaching this whole thing from Buchanan, Ingersoll, and Rooney. but I feel like Art's like, look, keep me in contention.
Yeah.
Say less, Coach. Let's go. That's what I feel is happening right now.
Yeah, man. You know what? And I don't know if the Shula thing is true. I do think bombed was probably rephrased as a not impressed. Right, not wild. So they're going to say bomb.
That sounds like a master clickbaiter type of term right there.
Yeah. So I think there's two things to this, and then the latter of this point, I think you guys can build. And again, anybody in the chat, I love to hear everyone's comments as well. Is I do think McCarthy can get the most out of Mason or Will Howard. Let's just say that is the choice for 2026. Because in all honesty, after Mendoza, I don't know who the hell you're going to draft, really. Next year, there's about 47 quarterbacks coming out because they're all sticking in college for forever, right? So next year, 2027, is that so? And you got 12 picks. You can either trade up to go get somebody, right? Yeah, exactly. 12.
Theoretically speaking.
Or you can build. You can really attempt to build the trenches, because let's say you hit just on 50% of those. There's 6 new starters, impact players, right?
Yeah.
Right.
And so I think that had something to do with it. And let's take a step back and look at Chris Shula. I wanted Chris Shula for his energy. He's young. Obviously, he would be copy-paste. He would be the similar pick from Tomlin and Cowher, right? People in this city are big on coaching trees and merits of coaching. I'm going to sound like an absolute hater here, but facts are facts, right? Look at his family.
This is a reminder.
Wow. Look at his family. How much of it? This is definitely a reminder here. That let's look at Don Shula, obviously a Hall of Fame coach. I'm using these parallels from Yinzers. Well, obviously, won back-to-back Super Bowls in 72 and 73. How many Super Bowls did he win after that? 0. He went 11 years, last 11 years of his career with 3 playoff wins. He had arguably the best thrower of the football in NFL history in Dan Marino, and he got 0 Super Bowls. So did he waste Dan Marino's career?
I bring this up to my buddy Mark Tirolia, the guy, the guy from that I went to the Miami Dolphins game.
Yeah.
This is exactly the conversation we have every time he be talking junk. I'm like, tell me about Don. Tell me about your boy Shula.
Right.
I love it, dude.
Let's go. And with this is what I'm talking about with Chris Shula, right? So Don Shula was, again, outstanding coach, but was he an all-time great coach? Maybe not. But I'm going by no Super Bowls in since 1973 to 1996 or whatever Shula retired. But this is all about Super Bowls. He lost the Super Bowl. He went to the AFC Championship game in 82 and 84, lost Super Bowl in 84. As you remember, that's the way he beat the dreaded Mark Malone Steelers there and got thumped by Joe Montana. Then look at it. Then his dad, David Shula, career record of 19 and 52.
Wait. Time out. Whoa. 20 seconds. Time out. That's David Shula's boy.
Unless I'm reading the family tree wrong, brother. Unless I'm reading the family tree wrong.
Listen, I'd have been like,
hey,
hell no.
So listen, so there's not a lot of like things to go on to build that would say that now you comes in and you say he bombed. You bombed the interview? Like, wait, what did you say? Now, whether it's bombed or was it like less? So to me, if you took McCarthy out of it, that would have went from Shula to Clint Kubiak, especially after the performance of Clint Kubiak, who just abused Shula's defense in the NFC Championship game. Clint Kubiak might have been probably bang the table for him over Chris Shula over McCarthy because of that performance. And he fits the Mike McCarthy mold and obviously a lot younger. I started thinking about this Chris Shula thing. I went, maybe I started drinking the Kool-Aid a little too much.
Yeah, you did.
Right? Because of that. Because, listen, the name, the Rams rebuilt that defense pretty well. They got a lot of good young players. I'm not saying Chris Shula would have been a bad coach. He might have been a good coach. But then again, he might not have been. I don't know. I don't know. What say you guys?
Well, I think what makes things kind of hard to figure out is that with everybody who interviews, there's some reporter out there saying that they had a great interview and it was strong and then the team loves this person or whatever. So you don't know what to believe. You know what I mean? Is that true or isn't it? So, we're not there. So we can only
don't know.
Kind of go by these things. So it's
so and by the way, JJ, what's up, brother? Appreciate you hanging out with us, man.
What up,
McCarthy was a safer hire. You're 100% correct, sir. The fact that they interviewed by Zoom Kubiak was a massive mistake. I think that's more the mistake than Chris Shula was, although I heard a lot of good things about him. But something happened in the interview process because he was the mold that the Steelers hired the last 2 times. So we'll see.
Well, can I read some tweets from some of the Rams fans?
He probably one of his better facilities and a bigger staff for Rooney.
Because they got some different. They may have a little bit of a different sentiment of what the Steeler fans like. I see this dude says Chris Shula does not deserve a head coaching job. That's what I see right here. Like, they're very not. They're very not happy with that guy right now.
Is that sour grapes from what happened in the game yesterday?
Well, I mean, when you get torched for 31,
yeah.
I mean, let me ask you a question. Yeah. What Yinzer's going to do to Terrell Austin if he put up 31 in the AFC Championship? I'll wait. It'll be the same thing.
Put up
same thing.
The same thing.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah. So
It's not like it's different.
How on the prowl? McCarthy won Super Bowl with A-Rod, 100%. He definitely underachieved with Rodgers. There's no doubt. Those are facts. But then
Chris
again,
Shula getting interviews is hilarious. I'm just gonna keep reading Chris Shula tweets from the LA Rams fans, just so y'all see how they feel. And
again, and I will say this, out on the prowl, like I said, you're 100% correct. There's obviously, that's a fact. There's nobody can deny that he underachieved. But I'm also going to let you know this I heard about bad things about retread coaches. And if you go based off the history, right? Mike McCarthy, here he comes 9-8 again, or 10-7 again, or all this stuff. Here it comes again, because that's what's happened, right? And Mike Vrabel was 54-45 and 2-3 in the playoffs as the Titans coach. Now he's and by the way, he is a New England guy, so that's a retread, right? Like McCarthy's a Pittsburgh guy, he didn't play.
Let that marinate.
So based on history, the Patriots should have been the 9-8, 10-7 and doing nothing. Now they are where they are. Now, granted, their schedule was ridiculously easy.
Retread is the new mediocre. Just
retread's a new mediocre. Correct, exactly. I mean, give an example, right? Vrabel's a defensive guy. He was a Houston's defensive coordinator in 2017 with a 20th ranked defense. And his defenses ranked in Tennessee when he was a Tennessee coach are 8, 21, 28, 12, 23, and 18. He gets to New England, they're 8th. So, I mean, listen, kudos to him. They did have a ridiculously easy schedule, but let's just not quickly label people based off history. The change of scenery can help. Because remember, everybody says change of scenery for Tomlin would have been great. Change of scenery for McCarthy. You never know. Anybody out there ever got their dream job, whether it was in high school or college? You just kind of work a little bit harder. I'm not saying McCarthy's going to have a world of success here. It remains to be seen. It's more about the staff than it is the head coach. He's an offensive guy, right? We talked about the offensive coaches. Who would you guys hire as a defensive coach? I think it's the 2 coordinators and the O-line coach.
You know who I would not hire? Chris Shula, because according to the Rams fans, Chris Shula is a fucking terrorist and attack him, and they tagged the FBI and FBI Director Cash Patel. So I'm gonna tell you, I'm not gonna hire is that guy. Now there is a gentleman. His name escapes me. It was written earlier today. And there was a connection. But the guy I really want to see is at least get an interview is Al Harris.
Yes.
Yep. So first of all, let me just start off by saying I respected Al Harris's game when he played with Green Bay. Mm-hmm. He was a freaking monster, man. Yes. Like for real. He's very underrated in my opinion.
Very intelligent,
underrated, and an intelligent, high IQ dude, man, and he would lock you down.
Yeah,
and would make a clutch. He was a clutch play type of guy. I would
always ball aware.
Yes, yep. and I've been seeing that he's been having some very good interviews as DCs. Mm-hmm. So I would love.
You would get him to get a shot.
I would love for him to have that to get that opportunity. I think that'd be awesome.
I got 2 names for you, and I'd like to get Mr. Wonderful and Jay Brown's thoughts on this. One is Raheem Morris, and 2 is let me see. I took a note. What's he coaching now? I believe he's in Denver. I believe he's a defensive assistant head coach. Is Jim Leonard? You guys remember him from his Baltimore days, the safety.
Yeah.
He went down. Yeah. He was a DC for Wisconsin for a while, which I believe is his alma mater, and now he's on Denver staff for I think the last 2 years. He's still a young dude. I wouldn't mind seeing someone like him and Raheem Morris. I don't know all the names, but what do you guys think about those? Or do you guys have a name that you would like to see based off of? Because you want to have somebody that can scheme up with most of the current players that we have on the roster.
I was in like the same kind of agreements with your boy GB. Al Harris, I think he's like a perfect fit with the connection and whatnot. Raheem Morris would be a pretty good consolation prize. I mean, just putting into perspective the types of defenses that he's already coached. I mean, he's already coached with those with some of those Rams teams the earlier part of this decade, and even some of those Falcon squads. So those are definitely the two defensive coordinators that I was definitely thinking of as well.
Okay, yeah, I actually like those names. Juan, what about you, bud?
So once again, GB stole my answer. I let you go first, no more.
I'll just read Chris Shula tweets for the rest of the night.
But the only thing that gives me pause on Raheem Morris is I don't know his how much he's run 3-4. Like I thought he was mostly 4-3. Like most of his.
Good point.
That's what it seemed like. So that I'm not sure what we, what I mean. And if that's a change we need to make at some point,
I was going to say, well, would you?
We can talk about that. We can talk about that.
Would you bring him in as more of like and use this more of like a hybrid year? Like that's he's going to run some principles of it, but you're going to start seeing because of 12 picks, you could change at least try to change things fairly quickly, and probably with. I think they're at around 60. Yeah, I think they're at around 60 million some dollars in cap room, right? Stop it. 60 million cap room, and you know what? If they don't bring back Ramsey, there's another 20 million because he has a zero. I mean, there's a lot of cap room to go out and do business. So, if you brought him in, would you be okay with that and knowing that this might be a transition year for the defense?
Yeah. I mean, this would be the time to do it, like just because of what you just said. Like, if you're going to make that move, this would definitely be the time to do it.
Hey, Big Rail has a really great wild card. Talk about some connections.
That's a
really good thought there, Big Rail.
And he's been in the game. He's been in the game. He's been working his way up the ranks. If you don't know what that movie, if you don't know that movie reference, man, I don't know if you can hang with us though. For real. It's funny because we all did it at the same time.
Oh man. Yeah, you got another on the pile. Larry Foot would be awesome. Absolutely. Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Bigger. Absolutely. All right. So a couple other things from a player perspective. I know we're kind of just bouncing around here, but that's what we do. We're just talking ball, not really setting an agenda. Offensively, we know Will Howard is an outlier, right? Because we don't know what he's going to be. Man, what do you think? Just Mike McCarthy's offense for the 3 tight ends. Maybe you get something out of Jonnu Smith for crying out loud. If not, I don't know what the contracts are if you want to trade him. But
we got to call him something else because hearing his name is almost like cussing.
Hey, bro, for real.
The tight end.
So we got to call him something else, man.
Listen,
I don't even want to hear his name, bro. He's for like another month or so.
How about we'll just call him tight end 3? Just call him tight end 3.
That's his name. Can't get
we should call him Reek.
Reek. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, man. Yeah, and y'all go run tell that because you go look at your film and you wonder you gonna find out why.
You know what? Real quick, I got a good question here by Yinzer, y'all. I want you guys to answer, especially you guys play a little bit of defense, and we'll get back to these offensive players. If you run nickels 60% of the time, is that much of a transition to a 4-3? And that's a very, very good point because there's not much of a traditional 3-4 really anymore. But Juan, would you take that first? Or do you think it's more of a, is it really something that's traditional?
Yeah, I mean it.
True.
Yeah, I mean there is a mixture. Yeah, that's the issue is.
Yeah, there it is.
Especially in this division, when they're running the ball, like who are your ends? Who's setting the edge for you? And then if you're trying to go to a 4-3 with 3-4 personnel, those guys might not hold up on those edges the way you want it to.
Yeah, Herbig would be a bad fit for that. You know what I mean? Unless you try to put him like a defensive end, which I don't think he's really gonna fit like a wide 9 or something.
So was it last week, Dudek, that I said I feel like we need to make that switch?
By the way, real quick, there is GB, and actually somebody in the YouTube comments when that video asked, he was questioning, like, why do you think TJ Watt can't play the wide 9?
Why do I think TJ Watt can't play the wide 9?
Yeah.
Because his hips tell me, what was her name? Little girl, hips don't lie. What's
Shakira.
Her name?
Shakira.
His hips tell me he can't play the wide. Look, guy. I mean, look, and this.
I'm relaying the question. Don't yell at me.
No. Bro, I will take.
Yeah,
I don't mind this at all. Like this is not a. I'm a big TJ Watt fan, but I'm a bigger Pittsburgh Steelers fan. And I know when talent is going the opposite way. And I've been on record, and I'm going to stick by what I said. Like, I felt like that the contract that he got last year was basically going to pay for past results, not future results.
Mm-hmm.
The end.
Yeah.
So, why? Because he looks like he's a quarter to a half a step slower than what he used to be.
Yeah, he's more than just a speed rusher.
If you decide to put him in a wide 9, he really gonna look slow on that outside, bro. He don't have the athleticism, first of all,
anymore.
That's why he was I would venture to say that the reason why he was the 32nd pick of the draft is because they weren't sure if he was going to be the athlete that he put on display. I would venture to say that was probably, or the 30th pick. I venture to say that probably has something to do with it.
Yeah,
okay,
might be speaking truth on that one. Yeah,
correct. Yeah. But he's not that type of athlete to get to the wide. You got to have twitch. He ain't that twitchy. He ain't twitching like that. Sorry. I had to pin my ears back. Did you catch that? That was
he caught it. Yeah. GB out here doing the wide 9. He's like, I'm gonna go.
Hey,
I'm gonna go.
Years back, baby. That was an Easter egg. See, they don't even understand sometimes. Hey,
yeah. And you know what? I mean, and now on the problem, TJ maybe, but I can tell you right now, it would not be smart business to do it this year, just because of money, because of cap, because of that contract. But maybe in a year or so, that could be it. That could be it. So we'll see. Back to the offense is not only do we have Muth, Mount Washington, and tight end 3. But what about, do you think McCarthy can then get something out of Mr. Roman Wilson? Caleb Johnson might be something, something to watch, because I don't think Gainwell's coming back. I don't know if he'll fit what McCarthy wants to do. And he's going to listen, Gainwell made himself some money this year, and more power to him. But Caleb Johnson might fit this offense a little bit more with Warren, as long as he can kind of get himself going. Any current players on this roster that could flourish now with an offensive-minded head coach and seemingly more of an open offense? We might see our 4 and 5 receivers, wide receivers, back again that we've missed, with Arthur Smith. What do you guys think?
I want to see what's
Mr. Wonderful.
I would like to see what's up with Calvin Austin as an outlier. Yeah, I would. Because last I checked, he's still fast.
Yeah.
And that speed, you know what I mean? And if you have somebody that fast with a mind where you can scheme him open and kind of get him in a better spots to, offset with what you may have with DK, and hopefully my thought would be drafted quality receiver early, if we can get a young group like that, and then have him work in the slot.
Yeah,
I think that's why I would want to see, because like I said, Andy, that's your punt returner too.
Yes. Jay Brown, what do you think about this? And was this your assessment? What you saw from Caleb? Real Glenn had a good point, and it kind of looked like that, especially early on in the year. was scared of contact or timid, whatever you want to call it, but he looked like he wasn't running like he did at Iowa. What do you think that Caleb Johnson can do in year 2 with McCarthy?
Yeah, I mean, just sort of putting into the back of his mind, just letting go of what happened this past season. Just get that out of your mind first and foremost. He could definitely be a difference maker if he gets that, that not getting contact out of his head. I also think if he was more of a patient runner, it seems like he was trying to hit the hole just a little bit too quickly, and he wasn't letting his blockers develop any lanes for him. So if he can learn just a little bit more patience and to balance that with Jaylen Warren, who I think will thrive with McCarthy and his offense. And the other person I also think that would also benefit would be Pat Freiermuth. Let's actually utilize the tight ends that we have. I mean,
ain't that something?
Between him and, well, hopefully Mount Washington comes back, healthy first and foremost. But I think he could be that dominant person inside the red zone. Finally, we can open up some stuff for Mr. Washington as well. Up the middle. So those are the few guys that I think would possibly, definitely benefit from Mr. McCarthy.
But Big
Actually, hold that. Can I jump in real quick? This one thing is I just thought about when you talk about Jaylen Warren. If we don't get Gainwell back, let's not forget that Jaylen Warren's a hell of a third down back. Period.
Hell of a third down back.
Whether he's coming out to the backfield or if he's staying in the block. So we're going to be okay in that aspect. He can handle a lot. So it would be nice to see Johnson.
Yeah, listen, I mean,
as well as a backup.
Yeah, listen, let's see. So this is Big Rel. Big Rel's using his burner account as well as his regular account. What's going on,
Big Rel burner account. I love
Big Rel out here with. Does that mean double subscribers, man? Let's go. Yeah, good point on Austin. Let me ask you this one, since you brought it up, and this is just I just thought of this now. What type of contract are you going to give Calvin Austin? He's been hurt a lot. I would be in favor of resigning, but like for what though?
I would say no more than 2 years. I would say maybe 1 year. Where's he at now? Though? Yeah, I would say
he's undrafted. He's a free agent.
He's a free agent.
I mean, what? What?
He just his 4-year rookie deal just ended.
Yeah.
You think he would demand?
I don't even at a dollar amount.
Good, Jay.
I said, do you think he would demand like a lot of attention in free agency?
I don't know.
I think he might get, because he can return punts. I think that's gonna increase his value, and he's fast. Yeah. So the Raiders.
Yeah. I think somebody may overvalue him like as a wide receiver 3.
Right, the Raiders.
Right? The Raiders. So yeah, I don't know. I mean, yeah, I like what you're talking about. A 2-year deal. It's like a 2-year prove it deal.
Yeah,
it allows him to like come in and ball out and then be able to hit the market again. Even a 1-year deal or something. Yeah, Yinzer, you all said, watch, you end up going to Kansas City with Patrick Mahomes and ball out with the Chiefs. I mean, it's kind of like fits their mold over there. Yeah, I mean, I would be in favor of bringing Austin back, but I'm just curious to see, like I said, with Roman Wilson. And now the fact they're going to utilize, I don't think you're going to see the veterans come back. Like Thielen obviously retired. Valdez-Scantlin's probably not coming back. So you're probably going to hit the free agent pool with one of these guys. And then maybe you hit the draft. Tate from Ohio State, please. And some other things. So Cornell Tate would be my wish list for the draft right now. But I think he'll be gone by 21 too. But you're going to see multiple receivers, I think, come in here via free agency as well as the draft. So they're going to try to build this up. And then we'll see what he does with the running game. Although I think the running game has to do more with the O-line coach that they bring in, and hopefully they get back to that. You know what I mean?
Yes.
So,
one of my favorite preseason wonders was back in the day. This is a gentleman by the name of John Kuhn. right? Y'all remember John Kuhn?
Shippensburg.
I remember John Kuhn. He's from Shippensburg. He ended up getting shipped out of Pittsburgh and made himself a nice career at Green Bay. Okay. Wouldn't surprise me, being in Pittsburgh and all, and Yens is going Yens, and even the owner might have a little Yens in. Wouldn't surprise me if we saw a fullback in I formation back in the Pittsburgh Steelers offensive repertoire. Don't be surprised if you see a Patrick Ricard looking dude on the team in our year of the Lord 2026. It will not surprise me one bit.
Be Connor Hayward.
Yeah, I was gonna say Connor Hayward.
They might go bigger than Connor. I'm just saying they might go 260 and above. Big boy. You know what I mean?
He said Anderson's gonna go from number 74 to 47.
Hey, they had that boy playing 13 with the extra tight end, so anything's possible at this point.
Yep, best part wide receiver, cap friendly 5-year option. Yep, I agree. I mean, obviously with anybody, but yeah, wide receiver, especially if it's an impact one, and you could have somebody. Listen, what I think proved itself this year that I didn't think would happen. I mean, Metcalf needs a wide receiver too, big time.
Can we go back to Sam Darnold for a second?
Sure.
And the reason why I want to go back to Sam Darnold for a second is because, and this ties into a lot of what we've been talking about, Dudek, over the last year. Jimmy's and Joe's matter, big time.
Yep.
Let's look at who Sam Darnold's been throwing to over the past 2 years. Okay, kid named Justin Jefferson. Other kid named Jordan Addison, you might have heard of him. Got a nice running game, Aaron Jones. I can see how you could thrive in that type of environment, right? Then he goes to Seattle, okay? You got JSN, Cooper Kupp, Rashid Shaheed, go with Kenneth Walker. Jimmy's and Joe's, y'all. Jimmy's and Joe's. Over there. And the X's and O's are great, but there's something about, Sam Darnold has been like the Phil Jackson of quarterbacks, how he's been getting his personnel. You understand what I'm saying? Because, bro, how he got into this situation, these two situations have been absolutely incredible, which tells me that if you put the right people in the right situation, you can win. Now, why am I bringing this up? Because we've been talking about how long now that we felt like we didn't have a full wide receiver room, basically. Like Roman Wilson was going to have to be a guy who was going to have to step in. Calvin Austin was going to have to be a guy that stepped in. And they never really and the Steelers have never really addressed that over the last 2 years, right? We went back, and Jay Brown, you were on here. We were like, man, what if we just had George Pickens and DK Metcalf and Calvin Austin and Roman Wilson for 1 year, and just to see what that would look like, right? It's the Jimmys and Joes that make things that can take. And I'm not saying Sam Darnold is a mid-level. I think he's above average. I don't think he's great, but he's good enough, and he has a good IQ. And if you put a person in a position to win, he will do just that.
Yeah.
I bring this up because if you look at Seattle in the way that they're set up, they have a great defense, right? They have a great defense. They have their running game is extremely strong, right? But the difference between their team and the Pittsburgh Steelers is look at that wide receiver room. That wide receiver room is head and shoulders above anything Pittsburgh ever put on the field this year.
Just a little bit.
Okay? And if you look at Sam Darnold last year, the wide receiver room in Minnesota was light years better than any wide receiver room we've had, especially last year. It was a hot mess last year. It was George Pickens.
The last 5 years.
So my point is, I feel like with having Mike McCarthy here, I think he may be beating that drum as well, because I do remember Greg Jennings, Jordy Nelson, Donald Driver, all working together in one accord. Like, that was a deadly, deadly, deadly ass receiving core. Okay, that morphed into Tyler Lockett, and bro, it morphed into something even greater. Not greater, but they just kept getting the same weapon. So I believe that thinking about all of this, that Art Rooney just didn't do this because his dude was from Pittsburgh.
No.
Let's put that out there.
Yeah,
okay?
let's
throw that out there. He didn't do this because he's from the bird. He did it because he felt like he was the best candidate out of all the candidates to get him to where he wants to go. Not you fans that think that you need to tank for 2 to 3 years to go so you can hope to get a lottery ticket named Drake May. Stop it. He was the third. By the way, he was the third quarterback. He wasn't the first. Okay, he was the third. Let's not forget that. Okay.
Yes.
That's a lottery ticket.
Yes.
Yo. Getting the quarterback just ain't going in the top 5, bro. Like,
hey, by the way,
class was an outlier for sure.
What's that, Jay?
I said that quarterback class of 2024 is an outlier.
Bro,
like, that doesn't happen all the time.
You just don't.
No.
You just don't.
Listen,
you can't get a quarterback off of Amazon. That don't work this way, y'all.
Speaking of lottery tickets, just like the scratch off tickets that my buddy got me for my birthday, I didn't win shit. I won $2.
Damn.
This is what happens when you pick high in the draft. And I'm glad you brought this up, and I want to get a comment from what Yinzer Y'all was saying on this too. This, GB, with your rant just went on a nice transition to the next topic that I want everyone's opinion on. You know me, I do research.
Yes,
Make sure I know what the F I'm talking about. So 2008 to 2024, reason I cut it off there at 24 because I didn't want to count the rookie class of quarterbacks. The reason I cut it off at 2008, that's because when I hit 50 quarterbacks. So the last 56 quarterbacks drafted in the first round, 37 of them were picked number 10 or higher. Including this Super Bowl this year, 8 will have started a Super Bowl. Guess how many have won will win a Super Bowl? 3. And that includes this year, whether it's Sam Darnold or Drake May. So you have a 5% chance, based off the recent history, of getting a Super Bowl winning quarterback when you pick up high in the draft. It doesn't guarantee you anything. So this whole tank for anybody is full of shit. And by the way, do you guys know what the Kansas City Chiefs record was the year before they drafted Patrick Mahomes?
What was the record?
12-4.
And what'd they do?
They lost to the Pittsburgh Steelers at home in a divisional round. They went up and they traded up to get him.
And that win probably fucked us because we also love Patrick Mahomes too.
There was rumors they wanted to trade up too. Like, damn it!
Talk about Mike Tomlin's, losing record. Shoot, I wish we'd have lost one more. We had freaking Patrick Mahomes. We would have had no losing record.
Tomlin and his playoff wins. Damn it! So this leads me to this because we've seen the recent trend of, and I'm going to use the term retread quarterbacks. Baker, Sam Darnold, all these other guys, and including Mr. Mac Jones in San Francisco, but with Mike McCarthy, would Mac Jones be a welcome addition with Will Howard and Mason Rudolph, knowing that you may have your eyes set on a 2027 quarterback that has 417 quarterbacks coming out in the same draft? What says you guys? Great question, Yinzer.
That is a great question.
Mac Jones he doesn't blow you away.
So could I
ask again from your iPhone?
Shut up, Siri.
I don't know. So I hear what he's saying. I hear what you're saying, y'all. But let me tell you something. I was actually a fan of both Baker Mayfield and Sam Darnold when they were in college. When Baker Mayfield played for Oklahoma, I thought he was absolutely incredible. And I'm on record. You can even ask my Cleveland friends. I said y'all made the right decision.
Yep.
That year taking Baker Mayfield because they was like, "What the hell do we do?" I said, "I promise you, that dude's a baller." And I remind them of how they screwed up by letting him go. Okay, because that dude's a gamer. Sam Darnold was like that as well at USC. Okay, then he went to the Jets, and I was like, I don't know what the hell going on. Maybe just because he went to the Jets, because it was the Jets, and then he went to Carolina. The end. Okay, where careers go to die. Okay, so but I loved what I saw from them in the college ranks. Mac Jones, I can't say the same thing. I'm not he never moved me like that. Like he never, you know what I'm saying? Like he just wasn't, he didn't have that quote unquote it like I felt like Darnold had at USC, right? And now you're starting to see it on display. And so I'm gonna get everybody all riled up right now. So I could to a certain degree see how like the Pitt fans are still holding on to Kenny Pickett's because Kenny showed some things from a college standpoint. Like I would take Kenny over Mac Jones right now. If we were to take the one over the other, I would actually pick Kenny Pickett to come back over Mac Jones. I would 1,000%. And it's because, again, Mac Jones never did anything for me to show me that, like, he's never been that. And that's not saying that I want Kenny Pickett back. I don't twist that shit because I didn't say that.
Right. Don't get it twisted.
Hey, millions, don't be taking the AI and putting that reel out there. Like, no, that's not what I said.
All right.
Context, please.
Jay Brown and one. What do you guys think? Someone like Mac Jones, who played pretty well in some mop-up duties with the Niners, but again, he's not going to move the needle for anybody really in this thing. What do you guys think? Someone like that being brought in?
Yeah, for me, I want somebody mobile. I want a quarterback that's more mobile. So like, and that's my biggest knock. Like Mac Jones did some nice things in San Fran. Yeah. I'll give him that. You know what I mean? And I think he would be a great backup. But yeah, I just want somebody more mobile. Like anything, I need that threat at quarterback.
He doesn't have that it factor. There's something missing in his game that it's like what they say in the Jay-Z song. We don't believe you. You need more people. You know, it's not there. I would welcome Justin Fields back. Even more so than Mac Jones.
Okay.
And
again,
it's just
I'm a total agreement with that, bro.
He doesn't move the needle for me at all.
And I would even welcome a man who I did not like. We talked about this a few weeks ago. Didn't do well in the NFL. Came on our job was like Malik Willis, but Malik Willis is going to get paid this offseason because of all the quarterbacks that went back into college. So he's going to price himself out of being brought in, and he may end up staying in Green Bay. We don't know, but
Mike McCarthy got Matt Flynn paid. Let that one marinate. Yeah. You talking about development quarterbacks?
Yes, he did.
And you want to talk about development quarterbacks, right? I believe you guys.
That's a good point.
What?
Exactly. I was going to have to say the year 2000. McCarthy was the Saints offensive coordinator from 2000 to 2004. He had the 10th, 19th, 11th, and 15th ranked offense that year. His quarterback, Aaron Brooks.
Aaron freaking Brooks.
So what has McCarthy done without Aaron Rodgers and top 15 offense? Top 10 offense.
He kind of a whisperer. You getting Aaron Brooks in the spots. You doing something.
I know. I mean, the Saints weren't really that good back then. I think they hit the playoffs a couple times at like the 9-7, 10-6 type deal, like wild cards. But their defense, I remember, was just to be trash. You remember that? That's whenever. I want to see OC. Was that the year? One of the years where they had that play against Jacksonville to tie it up, and then the kicker missed the extra point when it was like 5 yards away. They did that flea flicker. Remember, Saints did that flea flicker at the end of the game, and like I forget who was doing it. I know Aaron Brooks was a quarterback. This might be post McCarthy. I'm not sure, but then They did it, and then the kicker came in and missed the extra point to tie the game.
It's crazy that McCarthy and Weidel and
Khan
were
with the
all
Saints.
on the staff together with the Saints. That's crazy.
So Rel had put out another name, and I saw this too. And again, by the way, now that McCarthy's here, we're back to getting like every quarterback's coming to Pittsburgh. It's insane. What is your sincere thought? And one, you mentioned this about a mobile quarterback. Is someone like Kyler Murray?
No.
Midget. We don't want no Ewoks. We don't want no Ewoks.
Thank you.
No Hobbits. No Ewoks. No, none of them. We don't need none of them on our squad, yo.
Doesn't Kyler Murray? Doesn't he
make a wish quarterback?
Isn't he that same? Doesn't he have like a clause that he has to watch film in his contract?
That is true.
Yeah,
that is true.
How you short in stature? You still you putting in clauses? You got to watch film. What the hell?
Can't see the TV. Listen, I totally forgot about that clause. Like you got to watch like X amount of film. Like, come on,
I want no quarterback that sits on the training room and his legs hang like a ventriloquist doll. We do not need that in our lives. No way.
Hey,
unless his name is Doug Flutie. That's the only little dude I work with. Other than that, no, sir.
Hey,
no.
I like that one.
Kevin Hart.
Right, bro. We don't need that in our lives. That is not going to put any excitement in Pittsburgh.
I like that one. Like when there's that one Twitter account. Every time the Cowboys lose, there's that thing like just check and see for them boys, and like Kyler Murray's pictures like this.
You know,
they're just catching strays even when he wins.
I'm taller than Kyler Murray, man. No, hell no. Hell no.
No, you ain't.
Yes, I am. On Bruno Mars. He's like watching Kevin
Adams play.
I don't want to see Bruno Mars playing quarterback.
Come on, bro.
We don't need that in our lives, man. No, he's too short.
So, I hope it doesn't come down to this, Adam, but Kyler or Rodgers, I'd take Rodgers. I mean, I take neither, but if you're telling me one or the other, I'm going with Rodgers. Because
I don't think it's going to come to that.
I don't think it's going to come to that either, but just answering that question, I would go Rodgers.
If it came down to that with our receiving core, Aaron Rodgers all day. Like, I can't. Yeah, like, you don't want Kyler Murray leading this lack of receivers.
I can't think of a scenario where I would say, oh, yeah, Kyler Murray.
He said we could have Yancey Thigpen, Antonio Brown, Louis Lips, and we're like, I don't want Kyler Murray.
No.
We'd have to send out an APB on Kyler Murray with all this snow right now. We wouldn't even be able to find
Baker Mayfield is the reason why Kyler Murray Baker Mayfield the only reason why Kyler Murray getting the press that he getting because Oklahoma was lit and then he came after Baker May. And he just kind of it's like the Carson Palmer, Matt Leinart situation. It's one of the same.
Riding away.
Kyler Murray walked around. What they used to do in the cartoons?
That wave, man.
Hey, what they used to do in the cartoons? They walk around with like tennis rackets on their feet on top of the snow. That's what Kyler Murray have to do. Oh
Steep
man,
drop off between the two of them.
Yeah, big time. I just think it's one. Yeah, and plus Kyler Murray's good for like weeks 1 through 6. Then after that, he's garbage. So kind of just makes a highlight reel.
Can't take no hits. He looked like that little dude on the Kumite. Remember the dude that was jumping? He was in. You remember Bloodsport? Remember the little dude? He was up there hitting them.
Come on, bro.
We don't need that. We don't need that as our QB1. Hell no. No.
Especially at the price tag he is too.
Right. Oh no.
Yeah.
All righty. Last topic before we get out of here. Go Seahawks.
Hell yeah.
Yes.
all day.
Where do you guys think of this Super Bowl? First thoughts, other than go Seahawks.
Actually, I've liked the Seahawks. I've been really watching them all year because Kenneth Walker was on my fantasy team,
Yes.
And even like throughout the playoffs, like I'm cheering for him, like like I've been all season forgetting, like my fantasy team is done, so I've just been in the mode of that. But
yes,
but now,
Mark.
but yeah, but I like what they're doing, and I like
Me
how
too.
they play
too.
football. I like how they run the
Yes.
ball. I love just the play calling, how they scheme open their best receiver, and allow them to make,
right?
put them in a position to make plays. And then defensively, man, they're just smothering on defense.
They're laying the wood to everybody, bro.
Yeah, I just like how they play football, man. They're fun to watch.
Nick Evenworry is balling. Avatars. Hey, we don't even talk about avatars. Tariq Woolen and Nick Evenworry. I rest my case. Avatars. But listen, something about that, man. Listen, them lengthy corners changed the whole game on you.
I honestly think I don't think New England's they're going to be able to keep up with Seattle. Like it might be a close first half, but it's gonna get away from them in the second half.
I got news for you.
Hold on, wait.
There's too much firepower.
If it didn't snow, they was gonna lose to Denver.
Yeah.
And Denver spotted them.
Yeah,
a touchdown. You know what I mean?
Right. Yeah, I think.
And they scored 10 points in the championship game.
Yeah.
That's not going to cut it.
Against
the backup quarterback.
Right.
And this is exactly the reason why I was dying on the Super Bowl hill, because I felt like we could beat New England. I felt like we could beat Denver. Like, we lost to some bullshit. And it was 7-6.
Bro.
And let me remind you, it was 7-6 going into the fourth quarter. Dude, that's when shit went downhill because we was too old. But that's why I felt like, because I honestly feel like we're gonna not really be into the second half unless they decide to script it that way. I feel like this game shouldn't be close. In my opinion, I don't think. Mm-hmm. I think Seattle should beat them by 14-21. To be quite honest with you, I just think they're head and shoulders better than them.
By the way, the Steelers are a rookie running back brain fart away from being 2-0 versus Super Bowl teams.
Right?
Ain't that something?
How about them apples?
Right? Ain't that something? Yeah, we'll maybe next week.
We was close though. No, that's not. We was.
Yeah, and maybe we'll give some predictions or so next week or so. Maybe we'll talk a little bit more about the Super Bowl next week or so, because then after that we'll be on the day after. But our opinions will stay and forever stay. Go Seahawks and F the Pats.
Yes.
So real quick, real fast. Rel had a question here, and for this is the draft. This is way early for us, but why not? What does everyone's feel about Lemon and Boston? And if Lemon's the receiver from USC, and Boston, I believe, is from Washington, maybe.
Yeah.
Some good receivers. I mean, listen, him and along with Tate from Ohio State, those are the guys that they need. And I don't know. I mean, I know there's a lot of good receivers. I haven't looked at any of the tape, and I like to look at, especially once the Senior Bowl happens and things like that, we kind of look at it. But do you guys have any thoughts on those two players to answer Big Rel's question? No. Other than you're in favor of any receiver?
I haven't done any type of draft watching at all yet, so I don't have an opinion on it.
Still licking my wounds from this season.
I do. I do know about Tate, but you know, we probably won't be in Tate territory.
I liked Jordan Tyson too from Arizona State, and that's just because you get them late night games every now and again. Mm-hmm. I caught before Levitt got hurt. They was doing some things.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, we're going on an hour and 20 here, gentlemen. So I think we can wrap this one up here for this evening. It's been a hell of a show with the thoughts on McCarthy. So let's see. We'll start. Jay Brown, where can everybody find you, sir?
You can find me on the Twitters, Jay Brown the Chef at JBrown84. And if you like good food, you can catch me on the Instagrams, Plates by JB, and on the TikToks, J Brown the Chef. Holla.
Love it. Mr. Wonderful.
Find me on X and Instagram at Balt Thunder.
Yes, sir. GB.
By the way, Jay Brown, I made a delicious French dip yesterday.
Yeah.
I'm about to come over and have a try sample. But you can find me at your underscore boy underscore. Listen. Everybody know that. Try sample. Everybody's been there. Everybody been to Monroeville Mall. You listen. Back in the day,
Any
that's
mall.
what it was. Yeah.
Damn, Costco nowadays.
I got
too,
the
bro.
first. When I got my first experience of that when I was young. Jay Brown. We talked about that on. Speaking of which, Growing Up Brown coming back on tomorrow on the YouTubes. We talk about stuff like that, like stuff we did as kids, like try sample. That was one of the things that's stuff that sticks with you. It don't change. So find me your underscore boy underscore GB YouTube, Instagram. You can find me at uppity underscore Yinzers on the Twitters and on TikTok.
And by the way, before I start on this, and Yinzer, you're always saying this too. You see this. It came out today. Florida State is up here on Friday the 13th. The Pitt schedule came out.
They back.
Another Friday night. So
yeah,
definitely like to hit that game up as listen, it's a good game for the Noles. It's a good game for the Pitt Panthers.
I ain't gonna be there because the Lopes is gonna be winning somewhere. I don't know where, but they're gonna be winning somewhere on Friday night. Somewhere.
Yinzer, y'all, that might be a very more than likely. I'm gonna definitely try to go to that game myself. There's no doubt. And I will say this: it's find myself on the Twitters at Bird Cave, as obviously. We're on the road to 1,000 subscribers here at the channel. We're getting there. I appreciate everyone's support. We want to hit 1,000 subscribers this year as quick as possible. We have some really great things coming up here with my man Craig Burton from Beer We Go. Shout out to my man JJ Kitchen and Harry Braceros. And for those that are in here are from the Pitt Panther Nation, episode 2 is in the works. We might be announcing something tomorrow on JJ's show. He had some technical difficulties, so we're going to go on tomorrow night, or maybe the next night. I can't remember when he's free. Episode 2 of the live meet and greet is in the works. It's just about finalized, so we're going to be announcing that soon. So, but please, if anybody who's new here has not hit subscribe and like this channel, subscribe, comment, all that good stuff what the kids say. Help us get to 1,000 subscribers so we can keep producing some really great content for you guys. We'll be back here next Monday night, 8:30. We appreciate everybody, man. This has been a blast. Up to 340 tonight, man. We really appreciate everybody hanging out with us. That's next week. Let's get to 400. Tell a friend.
Tell a friend.
Tell your friends. Come down here, hang out. The best Steeler talk on the YouTubes. We don't do any bitching and complaining, and we like that.
Share the show.
Don't be a hoe. Share the show, and come back and talk about some Steelers and some shenanigans next week. How about that?
Hey, man, Mike McCarthy made Steve Bono a Pro Bowler. Leave him alone, Yinzers. Leave him alone.
Damn.
Ain't that something? He made Steve Bono a Pro Bolo. Eating some Rolos.
Shedeur Sanders is a Pro Bowler, so.
Yeah, what do you think about that before we get out of here? Goddamn Shedeur Sanders in a Pro Bowl. You and I are going to be Pro Bowlers next, bro.
The NFL has officially started giving out participation trophies.
Who the hell let Oprah in the Pro Bowl voting where everybody gets a Pro Bowl vote? You get a Pro Bowl vote. You get a Pro Bowl.
Hey, do that for real. It kind of pissed me off. Let me tell you why it pissed me off. Because our boy Sky Moore made the Pro Bowl yesterday.
Yes, shout out to Sky Moore.
Yeah. Shout out to Meek. You know, I know she is a proud mama.
Absolutely.
And shout out to her boy Sky, man. And it ticked me off that I saw that news today because it felt like, and I know it won't matter to them at all. He earned it, doing his thing in San Francisco. But man, it ticked me off because it just watered down completely like the earning a Pro Bowl selection. And don't get me wrong, I know there's alternates all the time, but look at the stats, y'all.
Bro.
Like,
he should even be an alternate for an alternate.
Right.
And then Cam Ward is not in the Pro Bowl. Am I correct in saying that?
Isn't Trevor Lawrence?
Trevor Lawrence isn't.
You could have put Aaron in there before Shador.
When the ballots came out, like Shador's name should have been like grayed out, like you can't even select that box. It's like
Mason Rudolph could have had would have been better off.
Thank you.
Than Shador Sanders. Like and this is not like you can insert any name behind those numbers, and I'm going to say the
exactly
same thing. His numbers are trash, super trash. So all them cats, and I'm about to hurt a whole bunch of feelings. All them cats that was talking about how this just like how they did back in the 1800s with buck breaking. This is an interesting way of buck breaking. I ain't never seen nothing like this before in my entire life, where you get rewarded for bad. Get out of here, man.
Jimmy, all you got to say is you put in quarterback John Smith and give him Shador's numbers, and people are like, get the hell out of here.
Right.
Terrible.
Shador Sanders.
Make 56%
piss me
completion
off.
Percentage. 7 touchdowns, 10 interceptions.
How you make a Pro Bowl throwing 7 more touchdowns than me? That's just like the whole Stefanski with one of his Coach of the Year awards, man. It was like he won a contest or something. Cleveland after getting NFL participation trophies was what is happening. Sons of bitches.
Give him the gold star.
What a time to be alive.
Y'all can appreciate this. I'm on. I just looked out on Facebook, and Tara Ulrich. Tara Ulrich put on Facebook. She said, "Can someone get a hold of Susie and tell her I want some Funzy wings?" I'm like, I put the comments. If you get a hold of Miss Susie, please tell her to get me 2 dozen while you at it. We might do a fundraiser or something. We have to start a petition. Bring
Roger
back.
said he made it because adversity towards racism with Kevin.
Man, fuck Kevin Adams. I might give a damn about no Kevin Adams over here. Total.
Hey, Max, man. Hey, appreciate you, man. Make sure you get listen, don't be blaming us if you get some bad grades out there up there at Allegheny, brother. Appreciate you joining, man. Up there in Allegheny. Hope the dorms. Hope you're doing well up there, brother. We'll see you soon.
Yes. It was good seeing Max last Saturday.
Good seeing you, Max. All right, guys. Now we're out of here. I feel like you know what? It's like whenever we were leaving a get together and the wives like you ready to go, and then like 20 minutes later we're still talking.
One more thing.
One more. We got one more again. One more topic. All right, gentlemen. Appreciate you guys. We'll see everybody in the next one. Take care.